If I could be invisible, the first place I'd go to would be a bank. I'd steal like every money and like run away, and then would be like, a ghost just took our money, and then I would sneak into like Area 51. I'd find out if any aliens are real. The Invisible Man, from the director of Upgrade, a movie I actually really like. And now this is his next film, which stars Elizabeth Moss, who is famed from Mad Men and Handmaid's Tale, who's a great actress. I knew going into this movie, I was like, she's going to kill it no matter what. She's a good actress, yada yada. Basically, this movie's about she is leaving her abusive husband, boyfriend, whatever, and then finds out he committed suicide. And he's like a really smart dude, but guess what? He turned himself invisible, and now he's terrorizing her, and now she must figure out how to defeat him, basically. I was not excited for this movie. I had no interest in seeing this movie. I hated everything I saw about this movie. I said the trailer showed too much. This just looks stupid. I don't care about this movie. I know it's from the director of Upgrade, but I was like, I really like Upgrade, but I don't know about this movie. I am so glad to be wrong. This is probably my favorite movie of the year so far, even though it's February, so really, I mean, me saying that's not a whole lot. But basically, this movie is just, I really like this movie. First things first, the directing is awesome. Like, I mean, awesome. Out of this world awesome. I love the cinematography. I love the sound design. The sound mixing, it was so good. And the music was so good in this movie. I loved it. I loved everything technical about this movie. The CGI, when it was used, was really, I thought was pretty good for what it was. I really liked just the creative camera-ness in this movie. The camera, how it moved, how like it felt like Upgrade in a few scenes. During a few action scenes, it felt like that. I loved the directing. It is my favorite part of this entire movie. The directing made this movie intriguing, enthralling, intense, and sometimes just downright unsettling. And with that, we have Elizabeth Moss, who kills it. She is so good in this movie. She brings it in this movie. She carries this movie. She is so damn good in this movie. I loved her in this movie. She is such an underrated actress. She needs to be in more things, and this movie proves she needs to be in more things. And basically, this entire movie, like, it's a very slow movie, but man, is it intense and just so uneasy. Like, you're sitting there watching the camera on her, and basically moves across the room, and things you think there's someone in that room with her right now. It is so unsettling. Things move, things start happening to her in her life, and it just starts getting bad. It gets worse and worse, and then it starts leading to death and everything. And it's like, oh my god, what? Like, it's like there was a point in this time I was like, what is she gonna do? Because this person is with you 24/7 basically, or is he? We don't know. That's what makes this movie so enthralling. It's so creepy and unsettling. When I walked down the parking lot, I felt like, what if there's an invisible man right now following me? What if I'm doing this review right now and there's someone right there? Like, it's so creepy and unsettling. I loved it. It felt original. It felt fresh. Like, it felt like a movie. Like, in 5 years, this movie could be called a cult classic. I could see that happening, and I'd be fine with it because I really like this movie. If I had any major cons with it, I would say, again, the pacing. There's times, like, I like the slow build and how it builds and gets to a big climax. This movie, I can't lie, there's a few times I was like, okay, and now we're going to a next scene. Okay, and the next. Like, there was just a few moments I was like, it's very slow paced in the beginning and the middle of this movie, and then when things start to pick up, it really picks up and everything, which kind of threw me off a little bit. Like, I like the slow pace and how creepy and building up it was, and then the very end felt more like action-y and more science fiction, if you almost say that. But I mean, I was still into it though. I really was. Again, the directing kept me in this movie. And my other con, I would say, there is something at the very end of this movie. The very end of this movie, there's a moment you're like, oh, it's over. And then there's like another 15 more minutes, and the movie's like 2 hours and 5 minutes long. And it's like, oh, okay, we have another 15 minutes. And you sit back in your seat. And then, there's something at the very end. They show the audience. And I was like, why did you show that to us? I felt like there's something in the very end of this movie they could have left open for interpretation, and the audience would have liked it even more, and it'd build more conversation on this movie. And they show it, I'm like, damn it, you had a chance right there, movie. But besides that, and a few other little plot hole things, like there's certain things like you're like thinking, why didn't they just do that? And this would have been pretty much figured out, if you were to say. Besides those things, and basically the interpretation at the very end, I really like this movie. I'm going to give The Invisible Man a strong A-. Definitely my favorite movie of the year, but I mean, again, it's February. We have a long year to go. But going into this movie is definitely worth your time. It's way better than The Mummy. Like, damn. Like, I mean, I know where they're doing the Dark Universe movies. Like, this is how you do it. Make it scary, make it interesting, and heck, it felt like its own movie. This movie did not feel like a sequel, prequel, reboot. It felt like an original, fresh take on The Invisible Man, which I loved. Anyway, guys enjoy this review, and I'll see you guys next time.